Hi everyone, welcome back. It's been 2 weeks since my last podcast, so I thought I would come back to the 11 people that might have seen my last one and show you my progress since 2 weeks ago. So I'll just introduce myself. My name's Lisa. I live in central Victoria in Australia, in a very rural setting. And it's a cooler day today, but it's lovely and sunny and we're having perfect autumn weather. I just thought I'd give you I thought I'd have a little bit of a format for these podcasts in that, so that there's a little bit of structure and it's not just so random, but I thought I would talk a little bit about some of the things that I'm enjoying over the past fortnight and some of the ways and things that I've liked to knit, so that you get a little bit more of an idea of who I am and which can make me more relatable to some people and maybe not to some others. So if you're interested, sit back and enjoy about 20 minutes. I think these aren't very long. So I'll begin with what I'm wearing, and I do have a finished garment, and this is my hexagon, I've got it written down here actually. It's the crochet granny cardigan, and here it is. I'll come a bit closer, you can see how long it is. It's quite cropped, but I've been wearing it with a little pin just in the bottom of it, which tends to give it a nice shape if you're wearing high-waisted clothes, which I like to wear. This was a week. It took me a week, and it was just a really engaging project that I could see progress happening very quickly. So you begin working one side as a hexagon square. It's not a square, it's a hexagon shape. And you continue until you've got the length and the width that you would prefer. And I was really impressed because I learned how to do a crochet cuff. I'll bring in a little bit closer. And that just was amazing to me, the way that you can crochet a cuff and it looks very much like knitting. Around the border I did double crochet, and that also looks quite neat, and I did quite a few rounds of the double crochet to make it sit higher on my neck. I think I've mentioned that I get cold up around here, so I wanted something that was really snug around that area. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I used Caron cakes. This is the wool. This is the colours. It was on sale at Spotlight. It was an impulsive purchase on an Easter weekend. I would say it's a worsted and a 10-ply weight. And I did this on a 5, I think I might have used it, actually a 6mm hook to make this cardigan. I followed a YouTube tutorial and I did some modifications. And the YouTube tutorial was Passio Knits, Passio Knits, and she's followed the recipe from another tutorial, which I've linked down below before. So you can definitely, if you search hexagon granny cardigan, this recipe does come up, and then there's a tutorial that you can follow along. So it's not an actual pattern, but it's very simple to follow. So yeah, finished. Pretty happy with it. I'm not sure if it's completely my style or if I'd wear it to more formal settings, but definitely around the house as just a little throw-on cardigan. I think it's nice, and I quite like the colours. Yeah, so that's that one. So moving on to what I'm still working on. This is my test knit for mipi, Mipi Designs. Yeah, and she's a new Danish designer, a young girl. And this test knit is almost up, so I thought if I can get one sleeve done by the due date and have the body done, then she would get a good indication of what it looks like. And there's been some slight adjustments in the pattern as the group's gone through the knitting. A couple of people have finished, and it's really lovely. I just took a break from it because I needed a bit of a change up. But I have finished the body now, so I'm just going to hold that up. I'm just going to bring it up over my face. Okay. So I'll come in a bit. And then I'll turn it around. This is the back, which is quite a bit longer due to where you start, which is these slanted rows at the back. So now I am working on the sleeves, which I've decided that I'm going to do those in this double moss stitch and leave out the bobbles and the cables, which it's meant to have more bobbles and cables down the sleeves, but I've kind of had enough, and I think for my taste it'd be too much. So I'm just going to do the sleeves in the double moss and leave off this pattern work, because I think the front is a real feature on its own. I'll show you a picture of what the finished garment looks like. You can see. It's called the Sweet Sierra sweater. It comes out on the 18th of April. And you can see that it's got these cinched in cuffs, which I'm going to put on because I really like that as a feature and a little detail. It's really pretty. She did hers in this is a black and white print, but this was a lavender purple colour, which was really nice. So I'm using Bendigo Woolen Mills Luxury 10-ply in the colour Stone, and I'm doing this on 5mm needles, and I did the waistband on 4.5mm needles. So I've slightly adjusted some of the recommendations to suit my size. I've definitely made it longer. The armholes are deeper. My row gauge was a little off, so that's why everything's a bit longer, but I wanted it definitely past waist length. I didn't want it really cropped. But I've been trying it on as I go, which is the beauty of in the round knitting, top down. You can try it on as you go, and it's just where I want it now. So collar to do, it's a double folded twisted rib collar and the sleeves with the cinched cuffs. And then hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I should have this done and be able to look like wearing it for our winter months. So yeah. Happy with that. That's the only, because that's a test knit and a deadline, I'm only working on that at the moment. I don't tend to work on too many projects in one go. I like to get things done and then move on. That's not to say I won't change, or I don't get sometimes carried away or a bit, what's the word? Waylaid by something that catches my eye. There's so many beautiful patterns and designs and new designers and beautiful books coming out that I'm always inspired by. I thought I'd also share a couple of things that I've recently finished kind of in the past 3 or 4 months, and a style that I really like, and I really like vintage style in the fitted tops and the high-waisted skirts and pants that you can wear with the clothes, and I kind of feel that that suits my body shape. So I really like going to op shops as well and looking for little treasures and looking for knitting books. So this, and usually you can pick them up for sort of sometimes 20 cents, 50 cents. So this one, this is equivalent to 6-ply, and I've made 2 items from here that I'm going to show you. And these are seamed garments, and I'm not against seaming. For me, I feel that you can get a very structured, proper fit when you seam pieces together. And I also feel I'm not as daunted by working on a back or a front. The rows are shorter, and so I feel like I'm making progress more quickly, and I don't mind sewing them together. I used to not like that, but I quite like that finishing off now, as I know that all the knitting's done and it's a matter of just taking my time to sew them together. So the patterns that I've completed are this little ribbed t-shirt. Can you see that there? That one is, this is the same. So you can either do it in a long sleeve or a short sleeve. And I did this in a wool cotton. And this is it. It's a bit creased because I've had it folded up, but I wore this so much. I really liked the colour. It was a bit out of my wheel, but for summer, I think it was really nice, and it's a really nice fit. The seams and raglan shaping worked well. This is Bendigo Woolen Mills again, cotton wool blend. I tuck it in. Yeah, so that's that one. When I learn to put photos on the screen, or if my daughter helps me, I'll be able to show a photo of me wearing that. And then because that worked so well, I decided I'd do another pattern from this book. And this pattern, just stop for a sec. Sorry, I had to take a break. There were a few people in the house coming and going for lunch. Anyway, so I was talking about my vintage knits, most recent finished garments, and I'd shown you the t-shirt. I also, from that same book, did this top. It's got beautiful mock cabling on the bands around the arms and the waist, and what I really liked about it was, let's try and come in so you can see, I really liked that really high waistband and the really long cuffs. So I used Bendigo Woolen Mill 5-ply in a wool blend. I think this may have had some acrylic, but it was mostly wool in this lavender color, and here it is. So I'll just come up so you can see that really nice mock cabling and the raglan seams, and this is all seamed. It had a double folded neckband which I seamed, and you can see this, come in close, really nice cuffs with this it was only a 4-row repeat. I really enjoyed making that, and it's a really neat close fit that comes in, it cinches in at the waist. So that's just sort of to show you that you know, you can pick up vintage books and knit directly from them, and things can work out. So yeah, not to snub anyone making modern patterns from modern designers, but there's something for everyone out there, isn't there? And it's just about finding what you like and how you like to knit, and sometimes mixing it up a little bit. So yeah, really happy with that. My recent purchases from the op shop just the other day actually was another little book, and I'm pretty sure these books may be from the 70s. And all of these little tops and jumpers in here are that very close fit but with fine details. This is an 8-ply one, and which the one I'm particularly like is this all over cable turtleneck, and this also little cardigan, close fitting rib. I think it's a 2x2 rib, which I really like, and could definitely find some scraps or leftovers to make that one. So that was 50 cents. And when I was there, I also came across these 2 balls of wool that were in a pack together for $2. I'm really not sure what they are, but they feel quite soft. And when I got home, they're actually 4 strands, or maybe 6 strands actually, of different fibers that are not woven together, but that kind of are together. And I thought, because you can see all the colors in there, they would be great in color work as a feature, like on a small detail for a yoke, or something around a waistband, or something around a cuff. So this is in the pinks. If anyone knows what this is, you can let me know. And this one is these beautiful blue, teal, blue and greens with some gold. That's actually like that one better. So I think there's probably 50 grams there, but again, I'm going to have to knit up a little swatch and check the weight and the gauge. When you look at all the fibers together, it feels like maybe a 12-ply Aran weight. Yeah, so keen to do something with those. One thing that I really enjoy in podcasts is listening to what people are reading, and some book recommendations. I really like to read, and I really like fantasy. I like big family sagas, great characters, really relatable characters, but fantasy is definitely just tuning out and getting lost in a world that's quite creative. And yeah, I really like reading fantasy, and it's no surprise when I saw the Hobbit in picture form. Oh, I'm just going down. So I came across this book, The Hobbit, which I've read years ago, and I just couldn't resist hardback, full colour illustrations, and a chance to read it again. And I'm absolutely loving it, and Bilbo Baggins, the main character who's the Hobbit. I just can relate to so much of what this little character feels in his adventures. So I'll show you a couple of the illustrations. There we go. Some of the goblins when they were turned into stone by the wizard. Yeah, so highly recommend. Loving the adventures of this little guy. He's a little character that really doesn't like to get out of his comfort zone, and likes all his little creature comforts around him and routine. But I think there's another side to him that is seeking a little bit more thrill, and extending himself and getting out of his comfort zone to see all those qualities that he didn't realize he has. So kind of life lessons for us, and definitely for me, relatable character in Bilbo. Yeah, really enjoying that. And that's where we're at. So this is in 2 parts. So hopefully my daughter can edit these 2 podcasts together and make it look seamless, and hopefully I will also maybe be able to add some photographs of me wearing those couple of vintage knits. Thank you for watching. I hope to record again in a couple of weeks. Happy knitting, happy crafting. Take care everyone, and talk again soon. Bye.